Another week, kids at school, and I'm walking into the co-workspace that I've now moved into. This is the longest I've ever left my iMac alone. I want to get in there and make sure it's okay. So, back here again. You missed it really, didn't you? I tried recording a podcast in the workspace last week and it's a little bit echoey, and also I have to pay for the meeting room. Also, I need to re-record a line for a voiceover that I did, and in order to make that match perfectly, I really need to record it in exactly the same audio space that I recorded the first one, so I had no choice but to bring that mic back. I have found as well my headphones have fallen apart from being stuffed in my bag so much, going back and forth to the co-workspace. I mean, to be fair, I've had them like 5 years. So I'm going to fix those with a bit of electrical tape and keep them at home, and then get a new pair and keep those at the co-workspace. I also felt like my trackpad for my keyboard, for my Mac, the feet of that are really fragile and they kept falling off, and once they fall off it doesn't click properly, and in the end over the weekend that one totally broke, so I had to order another one. Thank God for Amazon Prime, so it like turns up the next day. So yes, that whole moving things back and forward doesn't necessarily treat everything well. Yeah. Oh, the camera's off. It looks like, okay, bye. The camera's had enough. School drop-off done, but I've got to dash home because I'm doing a podcast record at 9 o'clock this morning because the guest is in Australia, and I can't be late for that, other than the fact that it would be rude, because at 10 o'clock I've got a client call. Had a message yesterday with some last minute script writing, and I really love working with this particular company, so I'm taking it on even though I wasn't expecting that to be on my workload this week. Diagnostics and therapy solutions. Sort of in a space at the moment where not everything I need is on my laptop, so I have to use my computer in town in the co-workspace. Obviously, most of it I'm on Dropbox or whatever, but it's like Adobe Audition I have on both computers, but I don't have the same favourite presets on the two different bits of software. So if I do a voiceover on my laptop, I don't have the functionality just to make that sound exactly like I would have processed it using my iMac. So I need to figure that out. See, one thing I'm having to do is think about my lunches. So like maybe making too much food, freezing it, and then bringing it in to heat up here. I used to really like making lunches at home, but yeah, definitely have to plan a bit more when you work from a co-work space. Okay, done the whole school pickup, kids playing football, dropping off at piano lessons. In fact, had to do a client call while they were having their piano lesson, because that script I wrote today is through an agency. The agency's client is actually in Japan, so obviously we need to get it over to them this evening, our time, so that they can pick it up their time in their morning. So did a call then. Then picked up my wife, dropped the kids back with her at the house so that I can come in for a meetup at the co-workspace. And it's a very different feeling to when I went to my first one here about 6 months ago. Back then I knew one person, and I really had to sort of like force myself into it because I'm not entirely comfortable in those situations. But now actually I feel like I know a lot of people there, and on top of that there's a lot of hopefully familiar faces who I see in the co-work space but don't necessarily talk to, so I'm hoping it'll be good to talk to them. unintended consequence of not working at home anymore, I have to keep going to the neighbours to get parcels that I've ordered. I took that totally for granted. I would just order something, postman would turn up, delivery driver would turn up, I would always be in. Not anymore. Just working the morning today. I dropped the kids at school, went and got my hair cut, and then worked from the co-work space. I've done voiceover work for an e-learning platform and I needed to edit all of that down. Right now, I've just driven home because I'm gonna have some lunch, pack a bag, and I'm going away for the weekend. So a great weekend just to switch off, apart from admittedly having to upload and publish the podcast, although I had everything in place, I didn't have the audio. Actually, I was sitting there stewing over that. Why am I doing this so last minute when I've recorded loads of episodes in advance? That's crazy. Remember, I have an editor now, so I think what I might do is edit some myself. So as well as the editor editing, there'll be me editing, because I enjoy it, and then maybe we can stockpile some edits so that it doesn't have to be done last minute. It's stupid. It's been great getting away, spending time with friends. I've said before about how that's part of work-life balance as well, friendships as well as family. And also one thing that occurred to me was that this time last year we had a similar date in the diary to go camping. In the end, all of my friends did go camping, but I had to bail out at the last minute. Why? Because I was sick, and I didn't call it burnout, but it's basically what I was. I think I'd just been working so much across the summer, across that beginning bit of September. My body shut down and I missed out. It's a very different story this year, I'm glad to say.